back to World Crisis Radio. Let me call your attention at this point in our broadcast to my most recent books, Obama, the Postmodern Coup, The Making of a Manchurian Candidate, with detailed account of how a people power coup or postmodern coup works. Looks like there was a postmodern coup in the works in Honduras, and this has been aborted by the military with an old-fashioned military coup. But certainly the Iranian story, postmodern coup, and then the Xinjiang province, some variation on that. And you can see there's a hope that if Kim Jong-il goes to his eternal reward, you might even get a postmodern coup going in North Korea, although that's a stretch. Anyway, you want to learn all about the postmodern coup, how this was used by Obama to seize power here in the United States. Obama, the Postmodern Coup, The Making of a Manchurian Candidate, available from ProgressivePress.com and from Amazon.com. Barack H. Obama, the unauthorized biography, gaining an interest now as people begin to realize there's something fishy with the Messiah. There's something wrong with the Anointed One. This compendious book gives you the complete lowdown on Obama. It also allows you to predict what he's going to do, because biography is destiny. In other words, your formation, culture, and so forth, in many cases, will give some indication of what you're about to do. It does not compel, but it impels. And then, Surviving the Cataclysm, your guide to the greatest financial crisis in human history. Big interest in that book right now in Australia. If you're out there in Australia, many copies on the way to you. Buy it now before they're all gone. And, of course, the Obama book available in German and in Japanese. Other international editions are in the works. And Surviving the Cataclysm, if you're going to buy one book on the world economic crisis, that's the one. It's going to be, growing as the Depression deepens, and people realize that the most precious form of knowledge is that simple matter of how do you get out of a depression once you're in it, not going further into the abyss of collapse and disintegration and breakdown crisis, but lifting out towards full employment, prosperity, rising standards of living, and generally a worldwide recovery with special attention for the labor movement at home and for the third world developing countries abroad. So those three books, Obama, the Postmodern Coup, Barack H. Obama, the unauthorized biography, and now the newest, Surviving the Cataclysm, second edition, all available from ProgressivePress.com and Amazon.com. Now, this week we had the shark lobby show up. A lot of people who have been bitten by sharks, but they want the U.S. government to be nice to sharks. And the speculation is that the money for that group, well, it actually turned out to be from the Pew Foundation. Some people say they're called the Pew Foundation because they stink. Others say, no, it's actually Pandit the Bandit, Diamond, Blankfein, and Lewis of Bank of America. They think that sharks are getting a bad rap, and therefore they want to do something to rehabilitate the public image of the sharks. Now, let's look at a little bit more on the international situation. Washington Post is telling us that there are going to be elections here on August 20th. We're going to have national elections in Afghanistan. And we know that the Anglo-Americans are not happy with Karzai. This is this incessant process by which a puppet is put in, and the longer the puppet stays in, the more and more the puppet essentially is captured by the national economic needs, political process, and so forth. And the longer you're in there, the less and less agentry you can do, and the more and more you act like some kind of a national leader simply because you have to. So there's always this process that yesterday's puppet is today's demon, and there's this incessant process of dumping the old puppets and getting new puppets in, because what you're doing is struggling against the underlying social, political, economic, military realities of the country. Anyway, we've been talking for a while about how Karzai is a candidate to become DM, in the Diem brothers there in South Vietnam in 1963, just before Kennedy was assassinated. You'll remember an operation done by W. Averill Harriman in the State Department. And, of course, at that time, that's when the Vietnam War became lost, before it had really even started. So the Anglo-Americans look like they're telling us, easy Karzai win no longer certain, and we're being told that the younger generation of educated voters hoping for change, sounds like a people power coup, don't like Karzai, and he's losing support. He's going to be forced into a runoff. It's humiliating. We've got a guy called Mohammed Atta. I don't know whether this is Mohammed Atta, the alleged hijacker. Apparently not. He has dumped Karzai and switched his support to another guy called Abdullah, who's another candidate. So you get the idea. The Afghan war. Now, here's the political premise here. You can see the death statistics, the body bag statistics in the Afghan war are going up, up, up. There is likely to be a crisis in the United Kingdom before the U.S. There's going to be a British crisis about the futile slaughter of the British Tommies in Afghanistan on the Lost Patrol, right? Because that's what it is. And that will then play back into the U.S. But here's the political premise. Obama equals Carter, to be sure, plus Lyndon B. Johnson, plus Nixon. We have argued for a long time that Obama is the new Carter, right? He is a puppet of the Trilateral Commission. You look at these people around him, Brzezinski, Volcker, Nye, right? This entire crew, Jay Rockefeller, David Rockefeller, the whole crew. He is a Trilateral Commission puppet. He is a redo, as a do-over of the abortive, catastrophic Carter experiment of 1976 and in the following years. But he's not just Carter, because Carter had advantages compared to Obama. The one thing with Carter, and he always boasted, is in many years of the Carter administration, he would say, not one American has been killed overseas. Okay? Whether this was exaggerated or covered up, we don't know, but it was a plausible claim. With Obama, of course, people are getting killed now. We just had 2 or 3 U.S. troops killed on Thursday, and it's just, it's every day, right? The offensive in Helmand province is, I think, a bloody fiasco at this point, and so forth. Because remember, the goal is to destroy Pakistan, not to do anything specific about Afghanistan. So Obama equals Carter plus LBJ, meaning the Vietnam War, plus Nixon in terms of preventive detention and keeping people and throwing the key away. So Carter equals Obama. Carter plus Nixon plus LBJ equals Obama. Back in a minute.